Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's bottom barracks are under attack.
Triple kill!
Dire's bottom barracks Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's injury is under attack. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban.
Templar is really love the combo. DA plus the Slaughter, you have like early roach taking abilities. Scales well.
Dire team
Force
ban.
just got it.
Pretty much, you definitely want a physical damage core with Slaughter.
Yeah.
If you're not getting EA, you want the life stealer or the life stealer and the Rick ban last
Yeah.
when Slaughter was picked. These are the kind of cores that sell with Slaughter.
We do have the respect ban on the bat, by the way, as well. That made Oracle second phase ban. In terms of core bans, though, compared to previous games,
10
it's not that much.
seconds
Like, there's a lot of options still there.
Radiant team ban. Dire team pick.
Have a draft in front of us. We've got Bait on the Radiant side, Nigma on the Dire side, and it is a best of 3, so we will see more out of these teams. Saw yesterday, and I mostly also am curious to see how the teams adapt mid-series. But let's see their baseline. Let's see where they start off. That Chen is banned as expected. Snapfire, Slardar, Nyx Assassin Puck, and Omni Knight banned as well. The IO first pick.
I think this is, yeah, you look at those 3 bans from BA. Those are the heroes that Kuro was stuck on for the qualifiers. Every single they would draft Snapfire, they would pick up Slardar first, they would second pick a all the time. IO's
Radiant team pick. Dire
has been frequently grabbing and has not had the most success. They do have the advantage of being able to play for both Circle and BH, but I honestly feel like
one, and they picked AA instantly against the IO, so they're gonna stop any kind of healing. Mars could set up pretty
5
easily.
seconds remaining.
Follow it up globally from AA ulti.
But again, like BA, they probably knew exactly what was going to be.
Yeah.
Right? Based off of just... And when you are that stubborn of a
Radiant
drafter,
team ban.
like many of these legendary captains are, right? You say, you know, Kuro's a stubborn draft. This puppy. Straight. Well, if you are stubborn in your ideas of openers, but you don't have the most complete... don't have the complete idea of what this path, well, then your stubbornness
10 seconds remaining.
Be predictable, and like later on when he starts figuring out the path a lot, then he understands every single step of the draft happen
team ban.
And is able, but have that.
Does that mean that even though we've seen Nigma do well with the IO Tiny, we don't really like it?
No, I'm a big
No,
I mean, we still think it's good, right? Yeah.
A classic.
It is. Like, you can play extremely
10
fast,
seconds
go from lane to lane,
remaining.
always have
Radiant
ways
team
to stop a split push. They're not even banning out Theo's heroes. He loves to play his Phantom Lancer. They have a built-in cleave. Tiny's 3. He also plays Terrorblade a lot. I don't think they're afraid of these heroes.
I do like B8's opener, even though if it was anybody else, I would bad. This is such a B8 hero, but like limited games I've seen from them being able to run a mid Dendy Mars and being able to have follow up from their support seem to be very offensive minded. I don't know what it is, but they just to pick a lot of YouTube.
That hand from GH. Man looks jacked.
Been hitting the gym.
Mixing those.
All right, so we have got the Mars coming out for Denny. That will be Denny's hero. We did have the Puck first phase banned to allow for that. They have run this tournament as well against Infamous, actually one of the games. And other than the Puck, everything else that they played with that, almost everything else, but most notably Timbersaw, they played with that one. And we mentioned it already, Nigma might not be the most comfortable on the Timbersaw.
It's pretty much.
But Bait is. Ghoststick is.
It's like 80% of the time hero, and then another like 19% shaker hero, and then there's. But I think it's insane.
I love this duo from Bait. They have AA plus a Fisher, long range. This is what Gambit does. I don't know their book, but set up gangs really far away. One hero active plus the
5 seconds
AA ulti.
remaining.
it's a nice way to be able to low commit, go for a kill.
Yeah.
Simultaneously have like really good off of this relocated. Got like a lot of AoE or that has the ability.
I want to see an offlaner that builds into pipe this game. Damage from and Earthshaker, and they definitely. I wouldn't mind seeing
Radiant team pick.
Baron.
Enchantress.
So, you know, can go a lot of different. It actually can. Especially the Enchantress is
10 seconds
since
remaining.
they gave a bonus damage in that
5
neutral
seconds
creep, it's
remaining.
become the everyone thought the impetus was the way to be able to play Enchantress. Having a Satyr creep run up with the next damage, hitting people, that's actually really powerful.
Also, a lot of people forget that it's a spell.
Yeah.
Right now, they don't have a spell, but during the mid game against certain carries and effective.
Dire team.
Yeah, I
pick.
think the there is Timber Saw. I mean, got IO Tiny. Then on top of that, you've got an enchant hero that you want to be able to find ways to do.
How do you deal with Timbersaw? I think the only way pretty much here is get the. They don't have a Spirit Vessel carrier.
10
IO,
seconds
he needs a
remaining.
lot of time to buy it. I'm a big fan of Ursa, I gotta say.
5
Either
seconds
Ursa or
remaining.
OD. OD.
I think so. OD is a hero that is a hero that Nigma has been kind of stuck on, and they had this great run where in the minor and then a lot of the major they were picking up OD and they were dominating. But the patch actually changed a bit. Biggest
Radiant
reason, I
team back.
think there's a lot of different reasons why OD is,
Devourer.
but one of the biggest reasons is the offlane meta, right? You are no longer drafting Omni Knight Abaddon every single.
Yeah.
Where OD is both good with those heroes and good against them. That sustained offlane meta was perfect for an OD who could, you know, just his damage over time and build up to dominate, you know, Abaddons.
10 seconds remaining.
Meanwhile, these
5 seconds
Even though
remaining.
he has this high cooldown, he can still fight even without it. That's what I like about the hero. Now they have ways to deal with the Timbersaw. He can't be that in your face. You stay away from him at the early levels, but once OD gets the levels, he can deal with him.
Yeah, I see a lot of sustain and saves on the side of Nigma, and not really any of that on the side of Bait. Is that something that you feel like they should do with their last pick? Because right now, like, if Mars goes for his Arena of Blood, all OD needs to do is put that Mars in an Astral Imprisonment, and nobody's gonna die. And even if he does manage to catch someone in the Arena of Blood, Io's gonna be
Dire
there to
team
heal
back.
him. Enchantress is gonna live for a very long time too. How is Bait gonna solve these problems?
I'm not really sure because they need like a really big win condition. You know, so Leshraker's prediction something that is better than that. One of the things that also happened
10 seconds remaining.
I think there's 3 things, right? Offlane management.
Yep.
The
5 seconds
faster
remaining.
cores started being picked after the major. That actually. Then the last one is lane. You could.
Bait?
So for me, I think Bait, they're just missing a win condition relatively fast. Nigma will win this game.
Yeah.
5:30.
It is in a really bad spot right now. You have a matchup that you can't win. Whoever comes against OD is going to lose his lane. There's the Timbersaw or a Mars, so you have 2 cores. Also, they banned out Ember Spirit. Flies. Possibly think. Why? It's an off lane.
We've had GH play Tiny, but he's played. We have Weehaw Tiny and we have Miracle Tiny. So yeah, the Ember ban is a little questionable at the moment.
Side lane. I don't know.
I think you want to have OD in the mid lane though, and we're kind of looking for a mind control. Imagine. Also, the way you guys are talking about what the last pick for bait needs to be, if that last pick is going to be the win condition, that means PO is going to be the win condition, and we just talked at length about how PO is the weakest link in their lineup at the moment, and that is already a very scary place to start off your game with.
Yeah, from like an outsider's perspective. But at the end of the day, if you're inside the team, right, and you chose this guy to placement to Kumbin, but you chose him to be on your team.
10 seconds
right? You've got to believe in him. Setting him up with the line.
5 seconds remaining.
And having the win.
Radiant team pick.
Oracle.
And Enchantress Court. Then.
It's not a good Timbersaw game. Enchantress will get a lot of farm from position 3 pure damage from, so he won't be the Timber chains aggressively, especially also even defensively for extra damage. And they need, you said win condition, I don't need that hero. Like, they need some hyper carry, because right now these 4 heroes are like all in on the early game. Yeah, you can set things up in the mid game once Earthshaker gets a Blink Dagger plus AA combo. And here it comes.
It's a PA. We haven't really seen PA this tournament, I believe. So that's at least the first one.
Well, if you look at it, right, so you've got Enchantress and OD cores. They're the ones to be able to build MKB and both output their damage. So there's that. You are still a low mana hero, so you're going to be taking a lot of damage from Sanity's Eclipse. Yeah. That's a little problematic. You are susceptible to magic damage, which does have that. But it's a fast hero.
Yeah, and you do always want to buy BKB on that hero anyway, so that will allow you to counter as well.
Yeah, but there's no...
You have to get to that point.
Steroids for PA in this game. There's no Magnus, so she needs to have a really good laning stage to be effective. And this Oracle last pick, we don't see that too often, saving the +5 pick for the last pick. It's gonna give them another save on top of OD's. I'm gonna say Nigma won this draft 8.
I definitely agree. Too much single target save. No way to end the game, by the way. Mars, PA, like neither one of those are high ground hitters. At best, you've got Roshan take. There's not a whole lot there to be happy about it quickly against a lineup that.
You guys have painted a very grim picture for Bait and all the Bait fans out there, and I am looking who needs to do like amazing in order for Bait to still win this. 20% is not a whole lot of chance.
RNG, PA crit. This is what we're looking for.
That's what we need.
Wow, guys.
All right. Well, in the cold, harsh world of 30-20 or whatever we're at right now, apparently all we have is.
All right. Well, I am hoping that our commentators can paint a better picture for Bait for this upcoming game in the first game of the best of 3. So let's head over to Gods and Kai.
Well, Lacoste says RNG is what Bait need, and you guys are perhaps just as lucky as me. I get to cast with Kyle. It is my lucky day, Kyle. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right, yeah. I'm hyped for some Dota. We got 2 legends on stage, captaining their respective squads. I think we're going to see some style. I'm very upset that you've given away Wisp to a team with Kuroki on it, along with GH. I think this is a pretty poor decision, but maybe they've got a plan.
Yeah, we saw the Io Tiny yesterday in a game that
was
I don't
over
think you
12
can read
minutes.
too much into that one. So we'll see just how good this Io Tiny, something that Nigma going to go back to. We're helping ourselves in the games. Do you feel strongly about Nigma's round over Bait?
Yes. It's more the timings. I know, as an example, Timbersaw is a counter pick to the Tiny and the Wisp, but if at 13 minutes the Tiny has 3 items, you know, you're not a real hero, actually, and you don't apply the same amount of tower pressure, and you can't farm as fast. That's the big key, is that we're just going to get so much more out of the map because every minute that passes, farming so much more efficiently with this combo.
Thoughts on the new tiny item build, the Gloves of Haste Quelling Blade?
Hey, why not?
Start with?
You know,
the fastest possible treads. You don't need regen when you have your Aya who buys the regen, I guess.
Yeah, it's remember back when we had that tri-lane versus a solo off-laner hiding in trees meta, and you'd have like snipers going safe lane, rushing Midas Gloves first, same deal. I don't mind that here because you have GH, he's got the headdress, so you've got 4 regen, Tiny effectively rocking 5, and then 10 goes. No biggie.
Some incredibly fast treads. We saw some insane record-setting farm on his Tiny last game. Definitely a game not to take too much away from, but we'll see how B8 can match up against. They're going to be in for a rough time. Even down bottom, you can see Hio, who didn't have the best day yesterday, already getting harassed down very low.
Yeah, this is Enchantress Oracle, 2 of the better harassing heroes in Dota 2 right now. Specifically Enchantress, she's level 1 infinite shots.
It does have that cooldown now, but you're worried too much about when you're laning. And mid lane?
This is the match I want to key on, because I think if anyone's going to win this game for Bait, it's going to be Dendi. This is his signature hero right now. I love watching him play Mars, and while sure, certain elements, maybe he doesn't read the map as well as he did back 10 years ago, but individual skill-wise, Dendi is still on top form, and this man can play the hell out of Mars.
See, gang coming in, the fissure block is there, and, well, you cannot spear into a fissure. I don't know if Dendi knew that one or not, but he does now.
It's all about the denial.
I didn't know that one. Not a mouse player myself.
Because doesn't it affect Pango roll as a structure? Like you'll bounce off of it, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, because it's considered like a wall. It's not considered a wall.
This is the thing about Dota, because I get flamed for not knowing stuff half the time, but it's like Dota is literally just memorizing things. There's no mechanics, please. There's no rules to this. You just got to know what happens.
Yeah, he kind of hesitated, like, wait, do I spear him? Maybe he just want to do the harass. I think Dendi plays a lot of Mars. He probably does know how that mechanic works. Getting the harass in on Weeha with a guaranteed stun setup is good damage that is going to force that regen. On bottom, Mind Control getting brought low, and this could be a good kill with the Fissure coming in, but they do lose the AA. Mind Control not getting the experience for it, but does get a kill. First blood going the way of PA.
Top lane.
Ooh, Miracle getting very low. Need that Aya to come and slam on top. And not really a lane that's going to pressure Timbersaw much at all.
No, they are not. But in theory, you will start farming, and you don't really mind if Timber gets ahead because you have the OD, right? You're going to have this 1-to-1 hard counters against Red. You don't mind if Timber starts with the lead because you're one of the few heroes in Dota that can actually rotate. Pretty much any point in the game, get a couple hits off, drop the hammer.
Avalanche being used, Miracle keep himself alive. Gostic may have another Whirling Death soon if he latches this one with all that stat reduction, doesn't hit him with the trees. Miracle actually turning this one around. He's healed up a lot with that headroom regen, but Gostic, geez, that Whirling Death, that's level 1 Whirling Death, but
how much damage? The strength reduction, too. You obviously take away max stat to main attribute. That is so much damage. They can kill MC again. Nice job.
Okay.
This is big because the PA against Ench matchup gets way more PA favored as you have levels, and suddenly you're threatening kills instead of vice versa.
Yeah, core Edge you're actually okay against because, yeah, you just blink on top. You get bonus attack speed against Untouchable, and then you're also on top, so the impetus damage is just not as scary. So, very good start for Bait right now. And Dendi mid lane, look at the CS. He's having a fantastic time. He's winning the lane so far.
Dendi is still, I would argue, in the first 8 minutes of the game in a one-on-one mid, one of the 3 best players in Dota 2. If you disagree, feel free to challenge him. But, you know, I watched
challenge him, not you.
He turned Synderen into mincemeat. And most pros...
And Synderen, we all know, is like top 5 mid players.
That's exactly right. I'm never going to let him live that one down. A little bit of harassment with LeBron, but he's doing just fine. I will say, as the game progresses, Bait do have a hell of a team fight lineup, and they have answers, right? You've got the Ancient Apparition against Oracle and Wisp. You don't have that just unkillable Tiny factor like you saw in that one game where they won at about 14 minutes.
Yeah, just how this laning stage is panning out and the pressure Bait's putting on. And in fact, like these heroes, it's a PA. This hero scales incredibly well. Timbersaw, one of those heroes, like, if you have a good start, can have a great game.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like Bait has gotten everything they wanted out of the start of this game.
Oh, yeah.
Things are in a pretty good position for them.
Oh, this is great. And I think King R has just done a great job. He secures top a bit so that Timbersaw can lane by himself. And that's key, because IO Tiny, once the Timber's level 3...
This should make my life easier.
Earth's bounty.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Wish fulfilled. Bounty. Invisibility.
I'm grateful. Thanks.
Now your stream of glory no longer be. Cheer up. Even my lesser foes are remembered.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Wait up.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen.
Come get healed.
Return to the earth. Double kill. Shake down. Illusion.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Shocking.
Ну, также от Вики падает Гостик. Серия ошибок от команды Бейт.
Ну, немножко переоценили, возможно, свои силы, распределились по карте несколько более свободно, и за что были наказаны. Тут нельзя расслабляться, понятное дело, несмотря на вот эти начальные хорошие...
Dire are scanning. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant are scanning. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Come on, Spice!
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Thanks for trying.
Traded Dendi, but you'll take that. And
Yep.
again, you can see though, it's the little things that Nigma do that keep them at this top tier level, right? The fact that you have Kuro running up to place a sentry and ward on the high ground because they feel this smoke coming, they fight around their vision. Sure, you lose Miracle, but that could have been so much worse. More inexperienced team. If you commit a little harder, say Miracle, suddenly you've lost 3, you've lost 4, but they maintain their composure, they kite back, put themselves in a position where suddenly it's the Timber that's overexposed, and you end up trading evenly. So really nice job there. And just bring Miracle back. He's got a death, so good lord.
Well, this is where towers start to melt. This is the tiny build of choice for Miracle. We saw it last time. This time it looks like he's going to go for the heart instead of the AC, so survivability over more damage. The last game it was...
going.
Can you defend high ground against this tiny build?
You can with ults, but you know you need the Mars ultimate and you need another great AA blast. And keep in mind, that was without an Astral or Kuro popping his ulti. That's the only reason Miracle dies there.
Well, they want to start poking the next creep wave. It looks like Miracle's going to just plant himself on the high ground. No Echo Slam up just yet. Nice spear attempt, but he doesn't get him to latch on the tree, and now Miracle is going to start hitting the tier 3 tower. Cold Feet not going to be there to deal with this, and Miracle's just going to take a tier 3. There's just no answer. GH is just sitting behind him, buffing him up, and...
Now you've used the Ice Blast, so there's no way you're killing Miracle any longer.
When are these ultimates coming back up? That Echo Slam still not available, and he does get the disarm off, but he may just die for this one. Gostic gets absolutely shredded. The Enchantress getting the last hit, and yeah, Mind Control gets the kill. Meanwhile, Miracle going to get the racks.
The Kuro
backdoor protection. We saw this before. They can also just kill through the backdoor protection.
And Kuro's just spamming his heal on GH, who takes damage and ignores it, which then heals Miracle for like 500 to 600 to cast.
So, 20-minute racks. Not what Bait were hoping for.
Nope. And it's crazy how limited the mistakes they made were, right? It's what, you gave Tiny, I don't even know if you can argue they were mistakes. It's just Nigma have a read on their timing, right? You're going high ground, there's no BKBs on the enemy, and they can't kill Miracle.
No BKBs, no ultimates are on cooldown. I mean, maybe if you're Bait, you don't take that fight in the jungle because you want to defend high ground and save your ultimates, but, I mean, they had an okay fight. They killed Tiny. Now we're going to see a similar thing happening in this mid lane, maybe, or we could see Nigma go back for Roshan. If they can get Aegis, how do you defend at that point? You may just have to give up your base.
I want to point out just a little thing that Nigma, every time they run this strat on Dire, they're killing that bottom racks. That's where they choose to push because it is the furthest lane from Roshan, thus the most valuable to take out. It sets up for this maneuver as Bait smokes the pit.
They have ignored bottom lane. They're going for the Roche contest. Mind Control stuck in the pit on half health here as Miracle Avalanche Toss combo is there. Pio gets brought down to half health already. Doesn't have the ability to fight this one as Miracle still getting brought very low, gets speared into a tree here. There's the blink! Echo on 4! Ice Blaster following up! The Mars ultimate traps everyone inside as well, but they haven't got any kills here. They just don't have the ability to deal with these saves here. King Ars completely blowing his kit here as Oracle does die in the backlines here. Is there any more? Pio, he's the guy you've got to look to. He needs some crits. He needs to go back in. He probably wants GH. As Oracle is down, he can try and get onto GH here. Pio, Bjorksen goes on the Eye. They've got to bring down the Eye if they want to kill up Miracle. They get the kill. Now Pio in some trouble with the impetus, his own Mind Control. He's there. He blinks to the creeps. Insta buyback. With the Eye of buyback, though, they just can't continue to fight this one. Pio blinks out to his teammate. Nice toss coming in as they're going to look to continue to chase this one. Pio needs another blink out. Gossic's got to stay nearby. They're pinging where they want him to go, but Nigma, they read this. They know it's coming. He blinks instead to the neutrals. And I don't see a way out for Pio here. Yeah, he's being abandoned. Timbersaw says, you're on your own. And that was the Dream Echo Slam.
Yeah, I think the
no one died.
The AA Blast, I think, just missed. Like everybody.
I saw it flying over, but yeah, what?
It was just maybe, I don't know.
Maybe get another look at that one, but for now, Roshan should go uncontested.
The problem is when it's this short-range AA Blast, the travel time is deceptively slow, so it looked like they actually just all split.
And the AoE is quite small too.
Yeah, and it needs to land, not for the damage, but just to prevent the massive regen all these heroes are operating. Now there's an Aegis and soon have a heart. Oh, oof.
Yeah, hard fight.
And you can't really hope for more from Bait for an engagement, right? Like that's the dream, but they just don't have the damage. If you don't 100-0 these Nigma heroes, they're going to be able to keep themselves up.
That's the thing. That Echo Slam was great. It caught 3, and I think even a 4th with the tether in from Io, but there was still that 5th hero outside of it who can just start throwing those saves, the false promises, and then once the stuns have worn off, there's a defensive Astral.
Let's bring up all the items real fast, just to know, like, the way Nigma run this strategy, right? Look at what their other heroes have purchased. You've got a straight Hurricane Pike, Force Staff, AK, on your, you've got a mech, you've got a pipe. And then everything else, all the damage is on Miracle. This is how they're going to play. They know what the strategy is. It's for Protect 1.
And unfortunately, these BKBs weren't up in time. The PA, if you have a BKB there, you can just play so much more aggressive. You're not afraid of a whole lot. And both Dendi and Pio are just a little bit short.
Yep. They just need
150 gold. He could sell one of those Wraith Bands. Is he going to do so? It doesn't look like that's the case right now. He's pulled close to the base here as Pio still walking back. He's not even here for the defense just yet. Nice spear. They've got to just delay this push. Use whatever you can to kite. The cold feet, the fishes, the stuns, the halberds, everything you've got. As they are doing a good job just kiting Miracle, but it's so difficult. The second he gets caught by the cold feet, Kuro's there with the Dispel as well.
He's not actually taking damage either, gods. Look at GH. Constantly getting spammed on by Kuro. This is unbelievable healing per second. It cannot touch Miracle. You need to get into the back line.
Insane healing, and they've got the Dispel. They disarm him again. There's the stun. This time Kuro not there with the Dispel. They go on the back line. It's Pio who's tried to catch Kuro, I believe, but he's being kited around. He doesn't get the kill. Now he BKBs. He blinks, and he does manage to take out Kuro. Next, he wants the OD. OD defensive Astra will keep himself alive, but meanwhile, on the front lines, Miracle doing a lot of damage here. Kuro buys back, but there's no way to get back to this fight just yet. They need the detection. They don't have it for Weeha. He stays alive with the invis, and then he blows up the PA, whose BKB got kited. Gothics next to fall, and this could be the end for Bait.
It feels that way. They had an opportunity there. Both Wisp and Kuro were operating. Oh, Kuro had buyback, but Wisp didn't. They just couldn't take him down. And now there's a hard on Miracle, and they're just going to go for the throne. And they played that fight super. If you look at damage done, I'm pretty sure Bait are in the lead. It's just that they aren't finding kills.
Sure. There's just too much sustain on this Dire side, and this is one of those strats. You're in a best of 3, and it does feel like you just don't have answers and counters to it. You kind of just have to look at banning either the Aya or the Tiny in the next game, because this is now 2 games in a row.
Radiant's top tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Execution style!
Radiant's top tower has fallen. Radiant structures are fortified.
Heal us.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
Double kill.
Radiant's top barracks has fallen.
Of course.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
You're welcome. Lifeline Spitfire.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's ancient is under attack.
I was the harbinger of that.
5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
League's assassin.
Dire team pick.
Snapfire makes it all the way through, and Nigma stacks up. Nyx Assassin, Snapfire. I guess Nyx Assassin can be considered to be a counter to Snapfire, right? So that's why you would prefer to have the Nyx rather than the Snapfire if you're bait?
Yes. You have a instant way to stop Snapfire's ult.
Yeah.
Used by Carapace. Very, very good. And more useful than the other support option that I've seen people go for, which is Silencer. Nyx Assassin's just a lot more valuable of a now. Some buffs like the break mechanic really helping time. Now it's pure damage, and they didn't even nerf the damage of it, really. Like level 1 and level 2, it's basically the same damage except. So he got a significant up.
I'm wondering if they're gonna go with the Tiny as a carry again. I know that the GH does not feel comfortable playing Tiny. Maybe they're one game ahead. It's a good practice for him once again. Like, if you think about GH as a player, like, dude always performs. Like, his performance is always top notch, but not when he's playing Tiny.
Wow.
Damn.
Harsh. That being said, they did lose with the GH Tiny.
Is that something that he told you? So, because you said you said that he wasn't comfortable. Has he said something like that?
No. I just
He's
felt
just reading
that
his
way.
mind?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, I see.
Well, also during the true side, he also did not playing the hero.
What are some of our best heroes left? You pair with a Nixus. Still a lot of the better fives. Lich.
Yeah, they have played a lot of Omni Knight as position 5 as well on LeBron. Previous game had a lot of saves on the side of Nigma and kind of no saves on the side of Bait.
Radiant
I feel like they should be getting some of those saves. They go for Beastmaster actually. So
Oh God, please no!
Why? What?
Let me just check through my book. Last time I checked, he was 0 and 5
Yeah.
throughout
Really?
this tournament.
Now that's all that's left is for BA to pick Lifestealer.
All right, he got one win. Now he won one out of 6 games.
Rezo yesterday crushed with
remaining.
it.
Rezo?
Yeah.
Resolution? Crushing in 2020?
On the
Really?
Beastmaster yesterday against Gambit. Yeah, it did happen.
Go him.
Go him. So, he's got that one. The Beastmaster got that one win under his belt, but you guys don't like him in this?
Yeah,
like,
what
why
I
not?
feel about Beastmaster is his cold presence is just straight up early game laning stage. He kills your tier 1 tower. That's it.
All right.
I mean, I'm kidding, but still, vision game from Beastmaster is strong. Killing Roche from that aura also builds into either Vlad's or into Helm of the Dominator, but I feel like not have place in this meta. And
10 seconds remaining.
No. Also, you can pick any kind of spell, Omni-Knight, Abaddon, and just get that long cooldown ulti.
I think it's interesting BA8's approach to this game though, doubling down on the vision with both Nyx Assassin and Beastmaster. It makes me think that maybe my initial assumption is actually that they're going to be playing a slower game as a result, and just using the vision to be able to stay away from Nigma, because the last game 1 was the opposite approach, right? Where they were trying to play very aggressively and getting stymied by the fact that Nigma was out farming them and defensively posturing at all times. Just playing together around their mid tower. They kept that mid tower alive for so long, and it's something that Nigma in particular has always put a large priority on ever since. God, I just love Sapphire and AR. It's so adorable.
Mortimer looks super cute.
Look at him. Oh, he's a good boy. Oh,
Who's a good boy?
He's a good boy. For sure. The goodest of boys. Actually, what do you guys think about Tiny without Nio nowadays? As said, we've seen it a lot on position 4s being successful for other teams. It is still open to be either a position 4, 1 or 2 for Nigma, but do you guys like it? Like, is it first pick material without IO?
The reason why they first feel anything played at the multiple roles in most of the top tier drafting, like maybe show your clear position 5, but other than that, leave enemy team.
Somebody really likes their clapper.
Yes.
Clockwork and Abaddon, you're talking about cleanses to be able to deal with Beastmaster Ultimate. They deal clearly the best with Abaddon because he has a way of cleansing. Other people on a low cooldown, they're going to go for the Timber Saw.
We talked about Nigma Timber Saw earlier. That's going to probably be a Mirko or mostly Weeha Timber Saw, correct?
Yeah, it's interesting that they were willing to pick it up with already one small counter in the pool, and Nyx
10
does that.
seconds
Right?
remaining.
He has a break mechanic, he has Spike Carapace to be able to catch you with all that AoE damage you throw around, and then he... decent amount of burst.
I wouldn't call Nyx Assassin a counter to Timber Saw because your stacks still remain, but you can't get the new stacks after he breaks you. And during that duration, I don't think, unless you're initiating.
You won't even agree to soft counter, Lacoste? I said a soft counter.
You said soft?
You won't agree to, yeah.
All right, I can agree with soft.
All right, I'm not gonna flaccid counter here.
I know you prefer hard, but I'll go with soft.
All right, fair enough. Well, now they've got Witch Doctor, who's a little bit better of a counter.
10 seconds remaining.
One of the biggest things about Timber Saw is just
5 seconds remaining.
Terrible laning. Again, when Nigma picks up the Timber Saw, most of the time it's going mid-timber. Or at least Weeha's going to be playing it, sometimes Miracle. They've only played, so they had one game. I think it was sometime in the qualifiers for the region. And they had one game of Mind Control. You know the last time that Mind Control played Timber Saw before that?
No.
2015.
Really?
Close. 2016 was
Wow.
the last time that Mind Control played Timbersaw.
Well, I was
And
kidding,
let me
but
tell
I was close.
Guess what the situation was. And it was Dream League. It was Liquid versus Escape. They picked Timbersaw twice. Mind Control played it twice, and they lost to
Radiant
Escape
team
Gaming
pick.
twice.
I don't even know who that is.
At that point in time, they're just broken.
So what you're saying?
I just feel like I never liked that idea. But most other teams
10 seconds
are playing it
remaining.
offlane. Then,
5
when they pick it
seconds
up,
remaining.
which raises that hero to a farm priority that I don't like.
Ghostic had an amazing game on Timbersaw. First 10, 12 minutes.
Yeah.
But after that, the pure damage from OD and Enchantress completely shut him.
I could see a Miracle Timbersaw where they're matching it up against it. I think that's the laning phase that they actually won.
So we're saving Dendy's hero last for bait at the moment. They go for the Void. I can't help but think that in terms of where bait wants to fight, it's going to be a pretty small area that is actually really good for Snapfire if Kuro can get his positioning right, which I'm going to imagine he can. Or Mind Control. He's played Snapfire as well. In the previous couple of games.
Okay, they have two good heroes to deal with the Lifestealer and the Timbersaw. Right now, like a lot of stuns to interrupt his Timber Chain. Also Chronosphere against the Lifestealer and the Roar that goes through BKB. I want to see some kind of save.
10 seconds remaining.
From Nigma.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's like a very simple way to be able to, again, because
Radiant team pick.
up a Nyx assassin, they followed up with Master to target heroes, and they've got this Void who's going to be focused one person down most of the time. Don't have a whole lot of AoE damage to throw inside that Chronosphere. The best thing they have is a single target ultimate from Witch Doctor. So if you get another kind of one of those Oracle games. And on top of that, if you can actually
10 seconds remaining.
I think Timbersaw has a good match. Miracle,
5 seconds
Lifestealer,
remaining.
Mind Control, Timber. Like, Mind Control, I think, can win the matchup against Void, and obviously...
Yeah, for sure. Timbersaw is going to have okay early game. I just want to see what they're going to pick for last. Shadow.
That's a Shadow Fiend for Dendy.
Shadow Fiend looked like a garbage hero unless no one is playing it.
Yep. Yeah, but he, like on the other end, he looks like an absolute god. He makes that hero look so good. Maybe Dendy can follow in his footsteps. We did hear Kyle say that Dendy is top 3 mid players when it comes to the first, I think it was said 6 to 8 minutes, top 3 in the world right now. And Shadow Fiend is one of those heroes that is defined by those early, the early laning state. If he can get ahead, a good start. Let's see what the last pick for Nigma is going to be. They have a lot of different options in terms of where they send their heroes. They end up going for Alina last pick.
Yeah, I think it was just like Quap, Lina, like any one of those like pretty fast heroes that can output a lot of damage in a small period of time to be able to kill. Like SF's kind of squishy, he's always been susceptible to that kind of burn, but Void especially.
Save.
No.
You guys wanted a save? It's not a save. Is the I mean, you can Light Strike Array and Chrono, but then again, Void's very fast.
It's a hero that builds into Yule Scepter, which is only good against Faceless Void early on. Break any kind of a combo they want to set up in the Chronosphere. And they needed a range hero against Shadow Fiend on V. He seems like he's cold with GH in a t-shirt, while V looks like he came from Northern Pole.
We's got the stare, man. He's not blinking right now. He's trying to decipher this game. What are they going to be playing? So this is a Wii Lina, right? With A4, GH, and so on and so forth. Like GH should just be able to get a couple of pulls to make the Timbersaw's lane bearable enough, he gets to level 3. Then I imagine from there on out, you're going to do well enough against Void.
Let's see. It's GH Tiny, Kuro, Snapfire, Miracle, Lifestealer, and Weeha Lina. So Timbersaw.
Yeah,
Indeed,
as expected.
Yeah.
They will give Timbersaw, once he gets to that level 3, level 5 that you were talking about, Tiny can make her easy rotations on the mid lane, especially on the hero like a Shadow Fiend, one of my favorites heroes to kill, has no escape mechanism, and if he gets some good back tosses, it's a guaranteed kill.
Meanwhile, BA8, what is their team fight combination? They've got SF into a bunch of singles.
And they got a Chronospear. Witch Doctor with Chronospear is great, but yeah, they got the Roar and the Nyx Assassin, so they can hunt people and they can take team fights as long as they're far apart from each other with the cooldown of it. Do you guys like Bait's chances better than previous game? You ended up draft previously as 80-20. What would you give it this time around?
I'm gonna give them 10 more %.
10 more %. All right, well, let's find out.
I'll go 65-35.
65-35. Game 2 of Bait Nigma coming your way with Kyle and God.
Thank you, Shiver, and the panelists for your thoughts on the game. We've got ourselves a game 2. Bait with a maybe more well-rounded draft, or at least blocking Nigma from what they had last game.
It's nothing to do with their draft. It's that you didn't give away Wisp and Tiny, and I'm so hyped to see SF versus Lina mid. This is one of those, I would say one of the most skill-based matchups like in all of Dota 2. It's like Quap Puck and SF Lina, because it can go either way, and specifically both heroes could snowball hard, absolutely dumpster their opponent based on rune control, the first couple of waves. It's really cool. We can expect some bloodshed there.
Two very active 4 positions to go with an aggressive mid lane as well. Nyx on one side, Tiny on the other. Lacoste mentioned all the tossbacks, but we've also seen King R last game very active on the Shaker, and Nyx another hero that likes to pressure the mid lane. They've both gone, at least I saw Nyx with boots, I saw Tiny as the boots first as well. Generally an item you're looking to buy because you want to be able to move around the map as fast as possible to go for those early games.
Yeah, it'll be cool. There is a lot of tempo that they can play with this game. Got the Beastmaster combination with the Shadow Fiend. We saw that yesterday. I think VP used it. It's a great success. You can hit towers around 12-15, steamroll them down, and this is a very difficult Lifestealer game for Miracle.
Well, Gostic trying to get to this lane. The waves being blocked into his tower. He could be in some trouble here. No, looks like he's going to be okay. The cast bail him out, help him get back to the tower.
Your boar. So much experience, no. It's very worth the toss.
3 ways, but yeah, like you say, GH had full mana, so may as well use it. You've still got plenty of toss mana if you start making moves.
And very important is going to be the 2-minute runes. You got to see both 4 positions look rotating, and this will be an example, I imagine, of one I'd really like to see, which is to have something else spawn on the other side of runes. Because if one team checks top, and one team checks bottom, like, if the SF gets the rune, he's winning the lane.
Bring
if
back
he doesn't,
the bounty runes or something, or...
Yeah, anything. A shiny object that fills the bottle 2 charges. Anything to make it a little less just RNG.
What about if it was a activatable fairy fire? What do you think about that?
I have no idea. What
you get a rune on one side and the other, it's like, you click it and you get 75. It's like a mini heal boost.
That sounds like terrible. Sure, God.
You said
it was a clarity.
Terrible idea. You wanted anything? I'm giving you something, Kyle. So what you're telling me you don't want
a tree.
What you don't want is anything. You want a specific something.
Yeah, just like literally just, you know, I don't care. Fairy Spirit, and it restores 2 charges to your bottle. Okay. It has to give bottle charges.
Okay, so more specifically, not anything. Something that gives bottle charges.
Yes.
Okay.
Now we'll see. Anyway, top lane, you got a weird scenario where both carries are playing the enemy side of the map.
Yeah.
This is, I think, going to benefit Nigma because their trialing bottom is insane. You have so much damage output, and you're not really able to go after a Lifestealer, especially with Duve against the...
And fortunately, don't maybe need the full trialing. They go for an early rotation. The Radiant had an Observer to protect from these things, but with a smoke, GH may be able to find a kill here, but King R seems to have sniffed this one out. Believe they probably scouted the fact GH had a smoke here based on how they're positioning. And while you mentioned the 2-minute runes being important, ends up not really being important. Kyle being wrong as usual.
It was important.
It could have been. No, I'm just being. It could have been very important if one of the mids got a DD or something, but an illusion rune picked up by a 4 position may try to stack some camp.
I mean, you can see though, both 4s are around mid, right? Like you can't be in a scenario where you leave your on an island here.
And they're around mid because the mid lane is so important and those runes are so important. Yeah. As Kuro will get a kill down bottom.
And the problem is for Bait though, you really can't do anything to help the Beastmaster. Nyx is not a very strong laner.
Trying to avoid the impale. The SF not looking to go in pieces other than the single one.
It's really cool by GH, but they don't know sure if that's real or not. And Talon's actually gonna
toss back into an LSA, and Weeha and GH will get themselves a kill.
That's a TI winning play right there. You bait with the illusion so they don't go aggressively on Weeha. And in reality, you're actually coming in from behind to be able to pick up a kill on the enemy for a really nice play.
Yeah, I was saying the 2-minute bounty rune's really important as GH gets a kill with it there.
There you go.
Those 2-minute runes.
Hey, it's the beauty of Dota, right? It's all about getting the most out of what you get, right? Yeah. Obviously, you want to haste her into this room, but hey, you gotta make the best of it.
He even stacked the camp with it too, so
there you go.
While Nigma, things go from bad to worse, is another kill down bottom. GH just everywhere on this map. I'm not even sure it was needed for that kill, but the way
another reason I feel like a lot of teams really want to become top tier. Your 5 needs to learn how to play Furion, Chen, and Enchantress well. You look at OG, it's not just for the laning prowess, stacks you get with the creeps.
We had denied already. He can't do it. Oh, he wanted to pick it up, but he goes down. CH will grab the regen route, but the board there with some extra slows. There's that shotgun to slow them down and stop them from chasing. Nice kill onto the mid laner. This is also, I mean, we mentioned the mid matchup, but I feel like that's a pretty iconic player-hero combo as well. I mean, Dendy's been around a while. He has a few iconic heroes.
It's really nice pick in this game. The fear aspect is so good. I love how the SF ult is used a lot more for UT nowadays after they removed its ability to cleanly one-shot. And against a Timbersaw specifically, it's nice to have that mixed damage threat from your mid player. We'll see how it ends up. I like draft, but I'm worried that Miracle is just getting too much out of the bottom lane. Importantly, Ghost being down. Whenever you're in a position like this, you get the kills, and now it's just a one-on-one matchup, and Miracle's still free farming, and then you can rotate and find kills as you want. It's still hard to play.
He's free farming, he's getting denied. Yeah, Gostic's getting nothing out of the lane. Both supports are free to TP and rotate up the lanes, but they're going to stick down bot because they want another kill. They want to completely ruin Gostic's chance, as if they haven't already done that. The poor guy, he's 0-3, about to be 0-4. The cookie stun there, the toss to follow up. LeBron looking for a Canonical on his Witch Doctor, but feels a little bit too little too late. Level 2 Maldic, not going to amount to much as people going to feast his way back to full health.
I will say, I've talked to a couple players. I love this Witch Doctor hero. Effectively, every other team here thinks the hero is dog shit.
Just like Gambit, who'd be picking an alternate long.
Hey man, I don't know how many games it's going to be winning. It will get picked up.
FNG has been playing a lot of Witch Doctor too, but no, you're right. It's definitely a hero that most teams completely ignore in this support position. Yeah, this bottom lane is a bit of a bloodbath for them.
And or going down, that's 4 or 5. I've seen Ghost lose. Mid lane, just both cores, Nigma so far ahead. And in the mid game, you've effectively just got Chrono for bait to find kills with. Sure, Nixon's is utilized, but you don't have like your true natural frontliner that provides vision to make plays, whereas Nigma, you have a Lifestealer and a Timber that can just sit in lanes, right? And Lina then is free to rotate around the map. It's much easier for them to make moves because you have heroes that can actually just stand in lanes, even if enemy heroes are up against them, and not bother about it.
Feels like the Nigma supports, especially the better idea of where to play, which lane to play, and how to control this early game. It feels like LeBron's Witch Doctor just hasn't been sure where to go and where to play, but and they get GH, speaking of the supports, King out trying to get kills. How do I do it? Dendy with a bit of a body block on his teammate there, unfortunately. Still wants to maybe turn and get some kills here with a haste rune. He's definitely got the ability to do so, but they've already lost Gothic. He'll get the trade. But it's just a Kuro kill, so... meanwhile, Dendy running into the leader here. The LSA was there, ready for it with the ward. He needs a couple more right clicks, doesn't have the damage. The raindrop saving his life there. The haste is about to wear off, though. And Dendy will get back to the safety of the tier 2 tower, I believe.
Well, no, he... Now,
awareness. They should. The ping's going out here as we'll go back in. Weeha also revealing the fact they have the ward, I imagine, with that blind stun from the low ground.
In a previous life, that that would have been an easy save for Ghost Stick because your Force Throw used to pure BKB was much better against MC at this time. Now you just rage and you're unflowable. MC with a free kill on the Brat, nothing a Witch Doctor can do there. Creeps for the Coconut to bounce to, and Void not really going to Chrono to save, right?
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Void, seen or talked much about him. He has not had anywhere near the farm of Miracle. What a discrepancy net worth and lifestealer so far. One of them getting a free farm lane and one of them also getting a lot of kills in his lane, and well, it's the same one. It's Miracle.
You're just not going to kill this time. You got 4 heroes top for bait, but the only one that you really need is Dendi plus a Chrono, and it's just not something they're going to be able to execute easily because MC gets a read that, you know, hey, no one's showing anywhere else on the map. I might actually be in danger. I'll go jump.
Really feels like Nigma have finally developed this identity as a team that's working for them, which is playing around Miracle as this hard carry, secure his laning game. Don't worry about how the start goes for Weeha and Mind Control as much. And then once Miracle can be self-sustainable, then you can focus your attention up.
Yeah, trying to wave here. You know what's up? Yep. Oh, yeah,
walks into it. Gets the Maledict. The Carapace done. Kingar holding on to the Impale. Do you expect trees? He should still go down here, I imagine. Yeah, there's 4 heroes around.
That was 5 heroes, though. And if you look bottom, Miracle filling the bottom tower, and now just continuing to free farm as now Nigma can look towards mid. Already with an armlet going to be finished on the Lifestealer. I really like this build, by the way, the armlet Desto. I'm talking to one of my little brothers, is mechatronics engineer, and he ran the math, and he's like, guys, Maelstrom dog shit. Go armlet Desto into Abyssal, you'll kill everything.
Yep. He's an engineer, I trust him, Kyle.
Me too. I dropped out of community.
No, not much better than me. I dropped out of college as well, so viewers out there, Kyle and I when it comes to Dota, as well as maybe trust Dendi. He's managed to set his team up with a couple of kills with those raises from the high ground. Double kill for him. No. Miracle can't really rock up to this fight and do a whole lot. It's already been lost. 3-for-1 in favor of Bait.
Yeah, and you can hear the crowd. It is uncommon to hear a crowd actively cheering for the team playing against Nigma, but they are doing that right now, which I personally love when there's like a feel to, you know, a true, because this is really, there's a big underdog here.
Yeah.
Nigma heavily favorited, and of course Dendi, the heart and soul of Ukrainian Dota, not surprised to see the boys behind us are backing them.
The heart and soul of international Dota time.
Yeah. And can I just say how blessed we are as a community for that? Because Dendi's one of the goddamn nicest people, and like, I can't, you know, if I were in his shoes, I don't know if I would have had the same impact. Paladin coming out on the timber. MC himself.
Oh, the cast bounces to the lane as well. MC gets bumped out, but I think that Paladin may do enough damage to kill him off. Kingar goes down. Lifestealer is such a good matchup against the Nyx since you can't Carapace against the Rage, and with the positive Miracle, just chopping his way on a second kill. Double kill for him. He responds to Dendi's aggression and kills up top with some action of his own. And kills aside, seeing the net worth is where I really start to worry for Bait right now, because Miracle, similar to last game, is kind of on an island with how much farm he's got. Void just not really keeping up at all.
And it's not really something you say the double gloves of haste build. Not sure if that's a misclick or not.
We've been seeing a bit of this multiple gloves of haste just because, I mean, we talk a lot about the Crystalist efficiency. Gloves of haste is one of the most efficient attack speed item.
Yep, and it's just the 400 gold now. Yep. Well, then you chase after we. That's the kill you've got to go for. You need to get on top of it.
Everybody else. We tried to attempt to stun Dendi, dooms it, but they still don't have damage to, or catch to follow up and kill off we. Instead, Kingar goes down, and Mind Control just leading the charge here. Kura from afar, dropping the Mortimer's Kisses, as Dendi will get bullied back. Pio's here as well. He's already half HP because of the Snapfire ultimate. Pio not going to time walk away, does not have the chrono for 10 more seconds, and doesn't feel like they can take this fight. Just a 4-position trade.
4 on 5 though.
Yeah.
And you watch the way Nigma fights this, they're comfortable trading. And then they commit, they use all their spells to just kind of force Bait away. As long as they're retreating, they're winning this engagement because their hard carry is still free farm.
Yep, Miracle not even needing to level the ultimate. Now he gets at level 11. That's how straightforward his game speed has been.
8-0.
Yeah, that's not every day a carry goes 8-0. I mean, you can't really blame the Void for his lack of the farm discrepancy entirely because of how many kills Miracle's had fed to him from his support.
And I will say one thing to credit Nigma, and I think a big part of why they've continued to test, like Miracle's item. See it even in the previous game. They have this understanding of, okay, what's my role in this game? What timing are we really looking for? And if he gets this Armlet Desto Halberd up, look at this bait lineup. How do you kill him? He's going to have so much plus armor. He'll have evasion. But where's the damage to kill him going to come from?
Not seeing it. They're going to have to chain stun him down and basically have a 4v1 where they isolate him. They've got kind of the stuns to do so with Chrono, Nyx, and Beastmaster Roar. Beastmaster Roar against the Rage seems to be one of the best tools they have, as we'll catch Dendi and Nyx of King getting a support kill, and it gets a small cheer from the crowd. It's just a small sign of life, but ultimately a kill that doesn't amount to much. Perhaps more importantly, they're taking this top tier 1 tower, getting some map control of their own.
Look at the warding from Nigma as well. I love this. He's got 3 incredible wards placed, which means the Miracle can play bottom almost completely safely, because if your whole team's top, you're bottom, you've got these wards. If you don't see them on the wards or top, you have a pretty good idea that they might be down.
Yeah, importantly, they have that outpost down bottom, so you can't even be flanked by a TP to that outpost.
And just look at the way the map control has shifted, right? Like, oh man, on a toss in, that's going to be
Miracle rages up, gets an easy kill with his Tesla completed. Got all the damage in the world, doesn't need the Infest bomb to initiate, he's got a top to initiate. And are they going for round 2? No, it's top lane, it's Dendi. With that fear of the raises, he needs to hit all of these. Mind control, going to try Timber Chain away, but the long raise is there. I don't think that is going to be enough damage off. Back, Theo has the Chronosphere, but I don't go for this. He may just need to throw it to save his own life. It's not really ideal. Yeah, he's trying to run, but he's still getting nuked down by that Snapfire, and the damage is enough to kill him off. Absolutely devastating for Pate, as they won't kill the Lifestealer. He goes into creep to Infest. He's also healing up while all this is going on, so he's going to be able to pop out soon and have plenty of health. Dendi is trying to use his Shadow Healer to duke around, but he just hasn't got the ability to stay alive. The Rage from Miracle coming up. The Armlet Toggle's there as well.
Miracle's so fucking good. He reads, like, he knows Nyx pops Carapace. It's the right play, because if he Infest bombs out, he's going to get stunned. Maybe you're able to kill him. Instead, he waits inside just a little longer than you'd expect. Rage cooldown comes off, he then pops out, you land those kills. It's just low risk. That's the thing. If you're going to beat Nigma, you've got to play them. They are not going to hand you opportunities very often. And thus far, the way this game's played out, it's just not much Bait can do to make things happen. You can see as soon as Void has the Chrono, he's just going to die to a Lifestealer, double his net worth.
Still end up dying to a 5 position. Pretty scary 5 position when you're talking about Snapfire using the ultimate, but very hard position to come back for Bait right now, it feels like. Don't see an easy way for them to contest this Roshan. Such good dire vision, you mentioned, complete map control. They've got all 4 bounty runes as well, and now that minus armor from the Desto and the Timbersaw tanking it up. Looks like an Aegis to be going Miracle's way. He has almost doubled the Void net worth.
Straight into the Roche pit. It's going to be an Aegis on top of your Lifestealer now. Oh, this game doesn't get any easier. Bait. And you look to hunt, but the problem is that effectively all of your heroes are shredded by Lifestealer. And bear in mind, this was a first pick Lifestealer, Nigma, and it just feels like there's still not much.
And they have, on paper, some answers with, Beastmaster Roar through the Rage, the Chronosphere, but how miserably the side of the game has gone. It's not worked out as all, so we'll see that Rage against the Nyx, a hero that does not like to play the Lifestealer.
No. And it's just funny, like, I don't know if they did the math themselves, but Miracle's legitimately justifying the tried to prove his proper for like 2 weeks now. Funny. I imagine they've probably studied that tiny build for similar ways, just about it's about utilizing your gold as effectively as possible. If you think about this Lifestealer, right, if he has some sort of Maelstrom Radiance build, this 10k network is not nearly as threatening, but because he has 3 items complete, right? He is so powerful, but more importantly, the items that they're increasing his damage output, but also his survivability, then makes it much easier than the problem.
One mind control mid, they should be able to do so. That Maledict damage is going to add Scott to the barrier though, and it looks like mind control with that magic resistance is going to stay alive, and now Dendi and Co forced to retreat from the Snapfire ultimate, just being used to zone them away. Mind control, yep, that hood keeps him alive. The barrier damage block against the Maledict.
I mean, you can feel one of the issues here, Fate, is nobody can actually get towards Kuro, right? They have no ability to match the power level of these big tanky beasts of Nigma that are just charging forwards. If you can't, you go on the timber, blow everything, he doesn't die. Well, Kuro's got a free reign now to just spam fire from the back line. Void doesn't have enough damage to get involved yet, and Miracle is still just coming away, now hitting 2.
Void's about to hit item, but it's a pretty big one as far as damage goes. Going for a first item MKB against all of the evasion of Miracle.
It's unknown, it's kind of nuts, really, but that evasion talent on Lifestealer plus the halberd, that is what makes it.
Yeah, if this hero starts, really looking like it needs some nerfs, I feel like that evasion talent is something that may be targeted. Giving it 20%, I believe.
Yeah.
It's
not until
so
level 20, of course, but
yeah,
it's like you have Aegis. You don't really need to wait that long, and they're just going straight onto the buildings.
Yep. The evasion talent, he's got the evasion of the halberd, as well as the disarm, and Miracle just going onto the high ground, to claim the tier 2 towers. Kind of reminiscent of what he was doing on the tiny, but a little bit slower. Same time, there's no way Fate can defend this one. It's not worth throwing a Chronosphere just on an Aegis, really, and Mind Control so tanky with this build of his that frontline and not be afraid.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Again, look at it, 6 item slots, all with value items.
It's just, I don't understand their role. They're not forcing plays. People looking just to use up his Aegis note first on that. We have these nobody gets a 2-year LSA. Does get caught on the carapace here. Nice pass with the Maledict as well. They're going to bring down Weeha. Great counterplay coming out from LeBron. They want Mind Control as well, but he's going to spin away with Chronosphere. Theo completely off the mark on that one, and now Miracle says, hello, it's my turn to go charging in. Dendy very low in health. Luckily there's no detection. Well, the Snapfire ultimate may have finished him off. Instead, Nigma may just have to settle for the racks instead of the kills, but that's going to probably leave a smile on their face as we get closer and closer to sealing the deal. They toss back on the King R's Nyx Assassin. Miracle is there. Got that kill, but they will get the counter kill on Tiny, who overcommits a little bit. It's the buyback as well coming into the Nyx Assassin. Miracle Dome diving in deep here. He could be in some trouble. Miracle getting very low, does still have the Aegis. He saved it early with the Infest. Dendy winding up the Requiem. Not going to go for it because of the Rage. As Miracle can turn and fight. Shadowblade is there, so Dendy stays alive for a little bit longer. Miracle still no Infest to escape. They're going to just have to leave Mind Control. Looks like they cancel the Timber Chain. They get that kill. They also spin up Kuro as well. It looks like they may be holding their own here. Does Miracle to re-engage? 2 seconds till he's got Rage. He gets the slow onto Theo, whose Time Walk is still on cooldown. Theo gets brought down. Miracle spotting his opening. He's got one. He's looking for a second. He's got Ghosting as well. Penalty is in at Arteezy. That 1v5 Dota with the Lifestealer. Can he do it with the buyback? It looks like he gets a little bit of praise. He's going to wait for the next raid. 6 more seconds. Miracle can turn. Dent goes charging forward with the Shadowblade. Looks like that's going to be enough to deter. Is Miracle just going to rage and block the Maledict damage?
So well. It's typical to Pierce in the Nigma lineup. Looks like
DA. Toss forward, not the toss back. It's the raw. Oh, Weeha. He's too far forward. The Infest trying to give him some HP to survive through this one. Weeha still alive for a little bit longer. Gets the stun out onto LeBron. Miracle with the Rage, able to just get on top of Dendy. Another Shadow is there. This time, though, the avalanche damage is enough.
This is Nigma we expected start up here, firing on all cylinders.
Yep.
You know, it's just the way they read these fights, right? I'm not sure how to teach you. I don't think you can. There's just like this uncanny ability of these players to read the fight. They flow in, they flow out. Playing around Miracle, they bounce them out. Those 1,000 units. A little overextension from Fate, all of a sudden, oh, Void's left, we're going in. They have used the Chrono being wasted, all of a sudden Miracle's diving tier 4s. Doesn't matter if he loses Aegis, because he's now full health and mana, and he only had a minute left on it anyway.
It's like a beautiful dance you're describing, where they, like you say, going in and out, giving no openings to the bait. Or the openings they give, it's to literally bait them in. It's not really opening, it's just playing into Nigma's hands.
Look at Bait, like they have this ring around the 2 heroes they can't touch as Nigma. Effectively can just stand still because there's a choke point, there's 2 strength heroes, and then the rest of the squad's just watching from behind. It's a natural way. You can see how easy it is. They're sort of flowing in that star formation back and forth. So even if they overextend a bit, it doesn't really matter because it doesn't change the status quo of the fight. Fated aren't any closer to the enemy supports, even if they're closer to their base, because they've just acquired more territory as the cores move up.
We'll back off for the time being.
Under attack.
Things not looking good for Fate at all. Down 50k net worth. Holding the high ground is going to prove immensely difficult, it feels like. And if Nigma won, they can wait for that next Aegis. Gold difference continuing to increase. Miracle's farm, 6k net worth. Void, less than half of that.
Yep. They're just going to continue to make these moves. It's consistently targeting on the Witch Doctor and the Nyx, but not too much. You don't want to get mass chronoed. You bait out those big spells. The cores want to save their supports, and you can take them down. The stuns disappear, which is necessary if you actually want to ever kill Lifestealer or Timber.
Yeah, it seems like Nigma wait for that GH opening where he can get that blink toss back, but at the same time, GH needs to, he's going to force type, but I'd say we've seen when he does get that toss back, once or twice he's just died because he's got no escape, so having a force staff will give him his escape post-creation.
And we have a little bit of a break. You check out the items real fast. To note, it's kind of the same story. Look at this. Rushed Pipe on the Timber, a Force Staff immediately on Kuro, that's a staple, and then the Aether and Yules on Whis, so we can play as far back as possible. Another Force Tune on GH. It's all just about find the kill, re-engage. Find the kill, re-engage.
We're at 23 minutes, and look at them, they have no neutral items. They only have 2 of their tier 2 items currently equipped, it looks like. Yeah, they haven't even found their last one. Okay, no one holding the Nether Shawl, but yeah, they have this at 23 minutes. They haven't completed all their neutral. Have they got this kill? Yeah.
Wow. All right.
He overstepped. The caster curse, as well as Miracle's been playing. He's not been flawless now. They're going to look to turn this one. The snap cookie is there. The chainstone with the Avatos combo. They blow up Dandy, but on the back line, just Geo with the Chronosphere. He wants Wii, has Lina. Can he get enough damage? He gets the bash into the Chronosphere. He's got that kill. He wants Kuro next. Mind controls Timbersaw, zoning out the rest of the team. They can't really fight into that Timbersaw, but time walking forward is the Void. He wants Kuro, who's not tanking enough to survive against the Void. So they get that kill as well. GH can't blink away because of the Maledict damage. Does Pio have the ability to get this kill? There's going to be a toss away. Void tries to now time walk on after, but he can't. Oh, he does do so, but GH back to safety. I don't think they've got the damage from mind control. Do throw a cast here, and they're going to try for this one. He can't Timber Chain, not with that time dilation. They may actually get this kill as well. Yeah, they've got the Maledict, so they Chakram. Away. No, even with the Maledict, it looks like Pio is just a little bit too afraid to go in. I think he's afraid of GH with that Avatos combo.
But both teams playing this sequence very well.
Well, blinks in, GH. What's he looking to do there? Gets the kill on the Witch Doctor.
Team Baited, they're not playing bad at all. It just feels like Nigma have the stronger draft and the easier game plan to execute. Yeah, Miracle makes a misstep there, but again, you can just feel they retreat until they're in a stronger position. They've got vision on the high ground. They're standing on the high ground at a choke point. Boom, they strike, they kill Bendy.
Yeah, they take a 4v5 fight in a way where it felt kind of even or maybe slightly favored for them.
Yep, because you kill Bendy, you kill the damage dealer of the enemy team. Who cares if you've lost Miracle?
Yep. Well, they're going to go for Miracle, being isolated and focused with that roll, but on the back, gets the Avatos combo, catches up 3 in the Avalanche, and they can't kill off the life stealer. Instead, it's Dendy going down once more, forced to buyback. That's going to kind of ruin his farm progression. Void dies as well. They've got no Chronosphere, so without these ultimates, it feels like there's nothing they can do. GH in the trees being found there. The Raze is doing some good damage, and 1 or 2 more I could get it, but GH is tiny. Miracle charging in, once him out with the Raze. There's nothing you can do against him.
As Miracle goes forward, all these Stinger heroes have these spells, multi damage. Once they all come off cooldown, you just do it again. And look at Miracle, man. How are you going to kill this guy? He's got 700 HP plus the evasion and the halberd active.
Well, takes your action. Dandy looking to maybe set something up here. Has got the Requiem, but the Shadowblade wearing off and being planted as well. Well, back to the 8th, being catching these heroes left, right, and center. It's the poor Witch Doctor of LeBron. I feel like we've seen that one a few times. The game has not been too friendly to him. Dandy will be forced to just Shadowblade away. Sentry gets placed just to make sure he doesn't get on top of Nigma for a Requiem. The Abyssal player, I think, catching him by surprise. The Chronosphere is there, but he's got 2 of his teammates in this one as well. Nixon's actually follows up with an Impale, but Miracle is just way too big in the front line. Both Void and SF go down, no buyback. Surely GG, and there's the call. Fate have been knocked down to the lower bracket. They are not eliminated, but Nigma proving to be a bit too strong for them today.
They're playing incredibly clean. They had the better lineups, and I honestly felt like Baited played a better series today than I saw them yesterday. It's just, you're not going to win in these scenarios. You're in a position where to win, you have to consistently outplay, not play you.